Oh, yeah, pipe smokers. Yep, this is the Paul Gilson YouTube channel, and I am Paul Gilson, right here, aka Paul the Pipe Guy, live from the outskirts of Rochester, New York, in the United States of America. Thank the Lord, yeah. So we got a great show for you tonight. I'm going to share some feelings that I have on life and where my life is at right now. So, yeah. So, grab your favorite pipe, grab your favorite blend, and grab a adult alcoholic beverage. Let's have a smoke together. Yeah, this one might last like 25 minutes. Yeah, so I'm going to start out with a cigarette and then we're going to smoke a pipe. All right. I've got this gorgeous Mr. Bragg billiard here filled with spark plug. But I want to start out with a cigarette because, after all, I don't know, I guess it's my YouTube channel. Let's start something on fire. Yeah, so I turned 60 years old last December 7th. It's 15th? Yeah, the 15th of March, 2025. So, and yeah, so 11 years ago, my wife and I split up. I won't get into it. I still care for her. I tried to get back with her for a few years, and she just wasn't interested. You know, we had 4 children together, and we raised them, and she had 3 sons that when I married her, I put it right in our marriage vows up on stage in front of everyone that I married her 3 sons too. 3 of them. I married her 3 sons. Because let me tell you something. This is the truth. If you're a real man and you marry a woman who has children from a prior marriage, if you marry her, you better well be prepared to marry those children too, and to take them as your own. And I did that, and it was hard. Why was it hard? It didn't have to be hard, but I was raised a certain way, and I was taught to deal with, love. And I was taught to deal with my kids with love. And when they did something wrong, you lovingly corrected them. I was not brought up in a home where, you whipped your kids or did that kind of stuff. I found it was much more successful to take things away from them that were things that they loved when I had to punish them. Yeah, there was times when I had to. Actually, I don't even really remember spanking any of my kids ever. And some people might say, well, you got to spank your kids. But I didn't. I went about it in a different way. Instead of physically hurting them, I took things away from them, like cell phones, video games, things that they loved. And I found that really worked. But I had a wife that had an ex-husband that abused her kids, and so she really highly protected them. And so anything I want to do as far as a disciplinary action, to steer them in the right way, I try to teach them and so forth. But if they got belligerent or whatever, you get it, all right? They were able to run under their mother's skirt. And the mother, my wife, would be like, oh no, you can't do that, oh no, you can't discipline the kids. And that kind of cut my balls off as a man in charge of my family, both spiritually, physically, monetarily, and so forth. And I was able to get a little bit of that in, but it wasn't enough. And as these stepsons got older, they got into drugs and so forth. And, I was like, I'd try to talk to her and blah, 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 And she was like, oh, no, they're not doing that, But I knew they were. So it was much more than I did as a teenager. So, I battled through that for 2 decades. 2 decades is 20 years. I made a commitment to her and to those boys. And each one of them is, after my wife and I split up, they called me, each one of them individually at different times over like a 3-4 year period, and thanked me for being a good father to them. And I asked them, I says, how was I a good father, And they said, well, you taught us work ethic, You tried to, in fact, one boy said, you weren't the one to blame. My mother was. And I was like, look, your mom was just doing the best that she thought that she could do. And, we all got through it though, didn't we? I have 3 stepsons, very successful now. They're not doctors or lawyers or anything like that, but cheers. They're good people. They make a good living. And now they have their own kids. And I'm like, how's that going for you? How's that going for you? And they're like, we understand now, Paul. They never called me dad. They wanted me to adopt them, and I said no. I said I would adopt you if your father wasn't in your life, but he is. And that would be a slap in the face to him. So I can't do that. And they didn't understand at the time, but they do now. I did my job. I'm 60 years old now, man. I've raised 10 kids, 6 sons and 4 daughters who all turned out great. Two of them, unfortunately, as you know, have passed away. But that was the choices they made in life that caused them to pass away. And, that hurt me a lot. Oh, man. Oh, gosh. So, yeah. So, I've been 11 years, without a mate. I've dated a couple girls. And, things didn't work out because they were fucking crazy. All right. And, so, I'd like to have a partner. I really would. I mean, look at me. I'm not a bad looking guy. I'm 60 years old. I have my life together. If anybody watching right now has a good woman who loves the Lord, I don't care if she smokes or drinks or whatever, no drugs, turn her on to me. Yeah. Say, hey, I might have a guy for you you might be interested in. I'd like a partner in my life at this point in time. I'd love someone that I could walk in the door and say, hi, honey, I'm home. Or, vice versa. They walk in the door, hi, baby, I'm home. A good, solid relationship where God is the center of myself and her. That's paramount. If she doesn't believe in God, forget about it. If she doesn't love the Lord, forget about it. I'm not interested. So Paul the Pipe Guy's putting himself out there. But she has to be attractive too. I have to be attracted to her. She has to take care of herself like I do. She doesn't need to be a Barbie doll. But she has to be attractive with a good personality, a good sense of humor, and so forth. I appreciate all people. I'll tell you what, I didn't do a smoke together for 2 days. I had like a bunch of people like, hey, Paul, are you okay? You haven't done any videos in a while, And it's like, no, man, I'm all good, Everything's all good. I just needed to take a couple days off, But it's, for me, it was important that, you guys recognize that, and you were like, hey, where are you? Let's set this spark plug on fire. That is almost, I'll tell you, the 10 date on it is 9/29/2020. So it's about 4.5 years old. Yeah, let's set it on fire. Yeah. So I have a lot of girlfriends. I do. I don't sleep with any of them. Because we don't have that kind of relationship where that is. They're just friends of mine, okay? Girlfriends of mine. And there's only one, and she lives in Hawaii, that I probably would ever pursue as a partner unless you guys come up with something better. The spark plug is good. Imagine being married to two different wives. And you find out that they're really not your emotional partners. You're not partners. You're just not. So for 40 years, that's what I've been through. I wanted to be their partner. They didn't know how to accept love. They didn't know how to accept God. And they didn't know how to accept true romance between two people. And I'm a romantic kind of guy. All right, so I'm putting it out there. Anybody got anybody that they'd recommend that is in decent shape, attractive, and wants a great guy? I'm there. I'm all in. Oh man, this is good. Yeah, so if anybody watching this knows a woman that wants a great guy, I'm a great guy. I love to cook. I love to clean. I love to take care of my lover. And there's a lot of things that I love to do that I'm good at, and I'm a good person. If anybody has a lady that wants a man like that, who is like that, she has to, number one, love God. She has to love God. I don't care if she smokes cigarettes or drinks wine. No drugs. Age really doesn't matter. Yeah, if you've got somebody that you think might like me, well, help Paul the pipe guy out. Help her out. I'd treat her good. Yeah. Introduce us. Anyways,